Hello, my name is Philip Bloom, and today I'm going to be talking about a piece of equipment which literally changed my life. Throughout my career, I've always shot on video, but I've always tried to get a film look, and it's very difficult to do with video. It's not just about your depth of field, it's about the whole look and feel of the image. And finally, I feel I can actually really get something close to film with this product. With the advent of smaller cameras came smaller sensors, and that caused huge problems when you're trying to get a shallow depth of field in your shot. Now, a shallow depth of field is when very little of the image is actually in focus, so you're focused on something in the frame and the background is very much out of focus. A wide depth of field is when everything is in focus. Now, to get a 35mm depth of field on a video camera, you need to get a depth of field adapter. This, in my mind, is one of the best out there. It is the Letus Extreme. Over the past 2 years, I've used pretty much all of the depth of field adapters out there. The Red Rock M2, the Brevis 35, the SG Pro, and the P&S Technic Mini 35. And until recently, the P&S Technic Mini 35 was one of the best out there, but exceedingly expensive. This, in my mind, is way better and a fraction of the price. One of the great things about this product is it's completely modular. And that means you start with the base unit and you get to the filtering size of your choice. This is the 77mm one for the EX1. This is the 82mm one for the HVX200. And if you own an EX1 or HVX200 and you're planning to use the Letus on it, I really recommend you get the optimization kit. Now, that's a special achromat in here which is designed specifically for these cameras, which gives you perfect edge-to-edge sharpness. And getting sharpness across the whole image is absolutely critical, so it really is worth spending that extra cash. On the front end, you have the lens mount of your choice. I've got the Nikon on here, which is what I have on my one. So you can use standard Nikon still lenses like this, and they work so well, they're so sharp, and the images are beautiful. And there are loads of other mounts out there for all different types of still lenses, all the way from Canon EOS to Leicas. You're not just limited to still lenses. This is the PL mount for proper cinema lenses. Welcome to my rather unkept back garden. This is the best way I can show you just how much of a difference putting one of these in front of your camera will make. We have three cameras set up. We have the wide camera at the back, which is showing two EX1s, one mounted with a Letus and one which is clean. This is what I'm looking at right now, a bare bones EX1. You want to see the difference? This is the image of the Letus. It's so much nicer looking, much more filmic. The background is nice and soft. It looks much more organic. Here's the EX1 image again. And here's the Letus image again. As you can see, the difference really is quite stark. The cameras are just 8 foot away from me, and the background is perhaps 4 or 5 foot away from me. To get this sort of separation and shallowness, you'd have to be much further back with the camera without the Letus on. Perhaps another 10, 12 foot at least, and then I'd have to be much more separated away from the background than I am now. It's just not possible. But how is this achievable with this simple device? It's really simple. What you have is a lens. It goes on the front, projects an image onto a piece of glass. The camera then zooms in, records that image, and away you go.
Here are a few more examples of the difference between shooting with and without a Letus. The Letus has an 85mm Zeiss f1.4 lens on it, which is wide open. The EX1 is also wide open, and the camera's at the same distance from the object, so it's a pretty fair comparison. Even these mind-numbingly tedious shots look a little bit better with the Letus. And here's a few shots that I did earlier using the Letus and the Sony EX1. Looking at these shots, you must think, I want to shoot with this all the time, but it is a very different way of filming. For starters, I recommend prime lenses. That means fixed focal length. So if you need to change a shot, you need to either move forward or backward, or actually change the lens itself. One thing I have to point out is focus is really critical when using a depth of field adapter. If you thought it was critical with HD, it's even more critical when using this, so make sure you have a good monitor. The Letus loses just half a stop of light, but there are other limitations. For example, you can't stop down past f5.6 or use high-speed shutter. If you do, you'll see the pattern of the glass, especially in bright areas like the sky. The new Letus Ultimate will let you stop down to f22 and have high-speed shutter, but with the Extreme, you can't do it. So it's a golden rule, f5.6 and no high-speed shutter. Stick to those rules and you'll have great results after a bit of practice.
Setting the camera up with the adapter is incredibly fast and easy. The first thing you do is remove the thread adapter from the actual Letus. It's much easier to screw onto the camera. If you keep it on, you can screw it on that way, but it's much harder to do. Line up the Letus so it's straight and tighten with the Allen key. Screw on the base plate to the camera and slide it onto the support rails. Loosen the support bracket so it lines up with the hole on the Letus and screw in and tighten. And finally, put your lens on and you're ready to go. This is the battery compartment. 2 AA batteries, last about 4 or 5 hours. And to turn it on, it's a simple button. On and off. So if you're looking to get a film look on whatever your production may be, and you're on a budget, this really cannot be beaten.